macrame tree of life, you're going to need a 12-inch ring. I'm using an embroidery hoop because it's 2 for the price of 1 in that case, because you have an outside ring and an inside ring. Some cotton cord. I'm just using plain old cotton yarn. You can buy it in any color of the rainbow. So whatever color you want your tree of life to be, you can follow your heart on that. Or you can buy white and then dye it yourself later on. A pair of scissors. A yardstick. And some tape. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to measure out 10 strands of cotton cord. It's going to be 4 yards per strand. You're just going to take it and measure it on your yardstick. I just wrap it around 4 times. So 1, 2 on the way back, 3, and 4. And then cut it. Now that you have your first one, you can just measure off that one, and by lining up the 2 ends and then just pulling the cord through, and that's your measuring guide. And you're just going to do this until you have 10 cords. Next, you're going to take your 12-inch ring and your cotton cord, and with about a 6-inch tail, you're just going to tie a simple overhand knot to attach your cotton cord to the ring. You do want that long tail because that long tail is how you're going to hang your ring and how you're going to hang your finished macrame on the wall once you're done. So you're going to leave that hanging. You can hold it in your non-dominant hand. For me, it's my left. And you're just going to wrap this all the way around. It creates a more finished look. It's more polished. It also keeps all of your threads from moving around. If they're shifting around, it's going to change how your tree appears. It does make a little bit of a difference. It does take some time. So the easiest way to go about this is just wrap around. And you just keep lining it up next to each other. So it covers this all the way around the edge until you hit this end. If you want to get fancy, you can always do a half hitch knot or a spiral staircase if you used to make friendship bracelets. So it makes that little nice spiral. And to do that, rather than just wrapping around, you're going to make the number 4. So this is going to be your long skinny line number 4. You're going to pull it over across, and then you're going to pull your cord through the 4, so you're behind the ring through the loop you created, and then you're just going to pull it tight. It does take longer, but it is a little bit of a fancier look. So that is an option that you have. And you would just keep making that 4, pulling it through, behind the ring and through your loop, and then up through until it is snug, and you just keep doing that all the way around. Your third option is to do a right-facing vertical lark's head hitch knot, which is a lot of words, but it does make this really nice straight line. And it's really similar to the half hitch knot. It doesn't create that spiral that you're used to if you make bracelets, but it's basically the same idea. Where across your ring, you're going to make a 4. So here's the line going down. Here's your little 4. You're going to pass this behind and through again. And you're going to pull, and you want to keep this centered. And then instead of making a 4, you're going to flip this the other way and make a backwards 4. And again, you're going to pull it from the front, back behind the ring, and through your loop, and pull it tight. And I'm starting a little further down just so you can see it easier. And then you're going to switch back and make, come a little unraveled, but you're going to make that 4 behind the ring and through the loop of the 4, and hold tight, and then place your ring down, make a backwards 4, behind your ring with the cord, through the loop, and pull it tight. And you'll just go back and forth, and that will keep it from spiraling in a straight line instead. So those are your 3 options of how to wrap your ring for your macrame. I'm going to just do a quick wrap around and around and around. Not doing anything fancy on this one. It's gonna be a lot faster and a lot easier. If you want the challenge, try doing the spiral half hitch knot or try doing the vertical right facing lark's head knot. It is totally up to you. Those do take longer, but it's a great chance to listen to an audiobook or listen to some music as well. The Ocean County Library has Hoopla and Libby or Overdrive, depending on which version of it you're using, for audiobooks along with books on CD and Playaways, or you can use our Freegal app, which has free music streaming as well. So you can use some of our other resources while you work on this. Alrighty, so you have wrapped your hoop or ring entirely. You're just going to do a quick knot to secure the end and leave another 6-ish inch tail. Trim that, and then just tie a knot in it, and that's gonna be the loop that you can hang it from when you're done. Now we're gonna take those 10 pieces of cotton cord that we cut earlier. Now that you're tied off, you're gonna take 2 of your strands. So this is 2. Match the 4 ends, and then just pull till you have the center. And then you're going to go through the loop, or through your ring, over the top, and then pull your tails through. So just pull through and then tighten it so it's snug. You want the tails hanging into the middle because that's where you're going to put your tree. And you're just going to repeat this with, match your tails 4 more times, and you're going to kind of space them fairly evenly across the top section. You don't want your tree branches hanging out where the roots would be. And you can put them equal distant, you can put them a little spaced. It's your tree. Trees are kind of pretty organically shaped. This knot is called a reverse lark's head knot. So if you get really into macrame and you want to keep going, it's really helpful to know what the names of these knots are. So you've got your 5 different clusters attached. Working from the middle cluster, I've separated it to 2 strands down the middle, 1 on each side. Taking your right hand bundle, you're going to make that 4 shape again. So you're going to make sure that the cord goes over the top of the 2 in the middle. You're now going to take the bundle on the left, and you are going to go over what used to be your right hand one, and then under the 2 middle ones, and through that 4 shape that you had made, and you're going to pull it tight. If you've ever made a macrame bracelet, you are in business. This is a right spiral half square knot, so we're going to make that twist that makes it look like a tree, and you're going to do the same thing again and make that 4 over the 2, pull your left hand over what used to be your right hand, under the 2 in the center, and through the 4, that opening loop you had created. And you can see it's starting to twist right there. And it's going to keep spiraling around that. So you're going to go do this until it measures 3 inches. Once you have finished your central series of half square knots, you're going to do the exact same thing on the 2 to the left, but you're only going to go about 1.5 inches down. Once you've finished the 1.5 inches of the square knot spiral, on these 2, you're going to do about 2 to 2.5 inches of the same thing on the 2 on the right. Now that you've finished your final 2 spiraling half square knots, you are going to start making your branches. To do this, we're going to make these into a little Y, so we're going to combine the 2. I've taken one of the center threads from one branch and one from the other. They're now going to be our outside working cords. We're gonna hold the 6 remaining cords together. We're gonna make that same 4 across all 6, and then go over that working cord and behind all 6 center cords. And we're gonna pull it tight. So they've turned into 1. You've connected your branches. So you're gonna do the same thing, making a spiraling half square knot all the way down till you can reach a point where you can connect it to your center 1. So you can have it meet really soon, a little bit later. It changes the shape of your tree, but it is up to you how you want that tree to look. All right, so I've gone about another 1.5 inches on this center one. I'm gonna grab, by checking the ends, I'm gonna choose one of the longer cords. So this one, to be my outside edge. This is now my working cord. And we're gonna attach it to this central one, same way we did it before. And we're just going to do our same spiraling half square knot. We're going to pull it tight. We're going to make sure that we're at an angle where they touch. And perfect. I'm going to do 2 to hold it in place. And I'm going to leave these for now. And then work on connecting the 2 over here. And the exact same thing. Choose one of the center cords, is now your outside edge, or outside working cord on each. Make that half square knot, holding all 6 of your center cords together. So now that these are all connected, you're going to work 2 spiraling half square knots. You're going to decide where you want them to meet. Do you want them to actually meet back in the center so it's a straight tree? Do you want your tree off to the side? I'm going to do mine off to the side, so I want them to meet about here. And you're just going to do 2 sets of spiraling square knots and then meet in the middle. So once you've decided where you want your tree to go and where you want its roots to be, I'm going to put my roots over here. So it's going to be a little off center. You're going to just do your square knots. So now that we've finished our central trunk and have about 2-ish inches from the bottom, we're going to start tying our loose ends to the ring to create the root system. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that these 2 are out of the way. We want them to be our 2 ends. And we're gonna pull all of these to the back. So all of our tails are gonna be coming from the back. And we're gonna decide, I want mine to be here and then the roots going this way. So I'm just gonna tie off down here. To do this, I'm gonna start with a horizontal clove hitch. So I'm gonna yank all of this out of my way. Now it's easier for you guys to see. So from the back, we're gonna pull up, forward, and around. Tie that, pull it tight. And then we're gonna wrap it a second time going on the opposite side of our working string. To the back and pull through that loop that you just created. And then tighten. And that is one of your roots done. So that horizontal clove hitch, you're just gonna grab another one. We're gonna have a little bit of roots coming this way. You can put your roots wherever you want. But from the back, you're gonna come forward. You're gonna put this root right about here. Forward, around the ring, and then through. You're gonna create a little loop. And you're gonna go from the back, forward again, to the back, to the right of the string that you're working with, and then pull your tail through the loop that you had just created and tighten. And you're going to do that with all of your remaining working threads. And then at the end, you're going to use these two last on the sides that they're closest to. So mine's going to have that slant sideways. You can have yours slanted however you want. Once you have attached all of your working cord to the bottom, it is time to trim your ridiculously long tails. So the best way to do that is just hang them vertically. So they're hanging, and cut them level, like straight level, and that'll give you a natural curve, or you can measure them out, or you can lie it down, measure it, and give it more of a drastic point. We're just going to do the hanging version of it. And it's going to be a nice gentle curve. And if you cut it longer than you want it to be, that gives you the ability to trim it up and shape it a bit more as well. And it is a really gentle curve, and because of the way mine's spaced, it isn't super noticeable. But there you have your gentle curve that you cut. You can see the middle is longest. And if you're looking at it and you want to fill this in, you have this cord that you just cut, as well as probably some leftover cord as well on the entire thing. So as long as it is double the length, you can go in and you can fill in these empty spaces and keep shaping and cutting away. And you're just going to attach them using that reverse lark's head knot that you did before, but it is up to you. I'm going to leave mine as is, but if you wanted to keep adding, you would just go from behind this time because you're working from the bottom, through the center, up over, and you're going to pull your tails through because you're still going to be hanging down. And you can fill in more if you want. I'm going to actually leave mine as it is, and there you have it. And here is our finished macrame tree of life wall hanging. I hope you enjoyed making these. And if you want to learn more, check out the Ocean County Library for additional resources.
Support public libraries. Like, share, and subscribe for more great videos.